Live from Arkansas streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Welcome to the Plus. We love the Plus. We get to relax a little, be a little more chill. I'm Karen Fuller here with Ashley King and Simone Thomas in for Tracy today. And we get you covered traffic, weather, the works.
That's
and
right.
a very warm holiday forecast.
Well, don't sound so upset about it.
Unusually
warm.
Yeah, it is
Right.
unusually warm. That's the thing.
I'm looking at the silver lining, though. Santa's bringing bikes or anything that's an outdoor
Kids can
toy. They can definitely get outside and play
Good point.
this Christmas with
That's
this.
the glass half
Yeah,
full.
and maybe if you don't want to eat the traditional Thanksgiving meal, could fire up the grill.
There you go.
Silver linings.
I know Hayden would do it in a heartbeat. He's probably doing it, well, not now, but let's get to traffic though and see what that's like.
Yeah, well, traffic so far has been very light. I think we're going to see lighter traffic throughout the morning, really this entire week, because of the schools being out for the holiday and probably a lot of people taking off work too. Not a lot of traffic to talk about just yet, but now that we're in the 7 o'clock hour, maybe we'll see that increase. Right now we're looking at Interstate 30. This is around the Curtis Sykes exit, and looking at our live traffic map, no issues, no major slowdowns to talk about just yet. Of course, we'll get another check of this coming up in just a few minutes, but so far so good.
Pretty overcast start to our day with a lot of low-level clouds across much of the state. Winds coming from the east-southeast this morning, and before the day is said and done, we'll have more of a southerly wind flow. As far as temperatures, we're starting out fairly mild this morning with some 40s and 50s on the board, already up to 53 degrees in Texarkana. Camden and Monticello checking in at 52 this morning, 50 on the dot in Pine Bluff. 49 in the River Valley, Russellville, Batesville, our cool spot in the state this morning, holding on to 40 degrees. As we continue through the day, going to stay overcast, unfortunately. A shower or two cannot be ruled out with temperatures climbing at least to the 60s. We got a warm front lifting north through the state today. That'll make things warmer for the holiday. Full details on the week ahead are coming up in your 7-day outlook, so make sure you stick around.
Developing overnight, authorities are revealing new details about the deadly attack on a Jewish community in Australia last weekend. A father and son conducted firearms training outside Sydney and recorded a video trying to justify their attack during a Hanukkah gathering. The father was killed in the shootout with police. The son now facing 59 charges, including murder. Australian leaders, including Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, are calling for tougher hate speech and gun laws.
I acknowledge that we don't have the same free speech rules that they have in the United States, and I don't make any apologies for that. We have got a responsibility to knit together our community that comes from different races and religions and places from all over the world.
From Sydney to Israel, tributes continue for the victims. Surfers even paddled out at Bondi Beach in a tribute of their own. And one man who tried to stop the gunman was honored by community donations totaling more than $1.6 million. Developing this morning, the Trump administration facing multiple fronts of pressure. Lawmakers want the DOJ to explain why the Epstein-related files were not released by Friday's deadline. And at the same time, the administration is ramping up pressure on Venezuela after seizing a second oil tanker over the weekend and with a third now in its sights. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill reports.
Off the coast of Venezuela, the U.S. Coast Guard is now in active pursuit of a third oil tanker. This after seizing what the White House calls a second sanctioned vessel early Saturday.
This is another ship that was basically operating in the black market.
Venezuela called the operation a serious act of piracy. The White House accuses both vessels of evading sanctions as it ramps up its pressure campaign on dictator Nicolas Maduro. It follows the seizure nearly 2 weeks ago of another oil tanker, the Skipper. Last week, the president announced a full blockade of sanctioned vessels traveling in and out of Venezuela.
Not going to let anybody going through that shouldn't be going through.
Meanwhile, lawmakers are raising questions about the Justice Department's release of files linked to well-connected convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Starting Friday, the DOJ uploaded thousands of heavily redacted records to its website, including photos and contact lists. But over the weekend, more than a dozen files were removed without explanation. A CBS News review found that includes an image that appears to show a framed picture of President Trump. The image was later reposted.
It has nothing to do with President Trump. If there are survivors in any of the photos, we will redact them.
The two sponsors of the law slammed at the DOJ Sunday for not releasing all files as the law requires by last Friday.
This was a slap in the face of survivors.
They're flouting the spirit and the letter of the law.
They're now working to rally support in the House for inherent contempt charges against Attorney General Pam Bondi. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Back here at home, Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. and Police Chief Heath Helton say crime in the city is trending down. In the latest update, Mayor Scott reported overall crime is down 27% over the past 5 years, with violent crime down 21% and homicides down nearly 50%. City leaders say the 2026 budget boosts police and fire personnel pay, adds recruitment and retention bonuses, and police have recovered nearly $2 million in stolen property this year, up from last year. And as the year comes to a close, police say they're increasing patrols around shopping centers and other busy areas while continuing to recruit officers and strengthen community engagement. Arkansas nonprofits are getting a big funding boost from Governor Sanders. The governor announcing more than $15 million in community assistance grants for 40 organizations across the state. The funding supports services for children, families, and victims of crime, including advocacy centers, rape crisis programs, and child safety nonprofits. State leaders say the money will help stabilize critical services now, with plans to expand the program in future years. That funding begins rolling out in January. And a new program launching next year aims to expand mental health support for teenagers all across Arkansas. It's called Our Teen Connect, created by the Arkansas Crisis Center. The program connects teens with peer support to help prevent mental health crises before they escalate. Leaders say the focus is on early intervention, so teens can get help before they reach an emergency crisis like the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. The program is funded by the Blue and You Foundation for a Healthier Arkansas, and it launches early next year. And until then, help always remains available 24/7 through 988. The Arkansas Agriculture Department has confirmed a new case of bird flu in the state in Cleveland County, an area known for commercial poultry production. State inspectors are now quarantining the site and monitoring nearby flocks. Officials warn even a single case can disrupt poultry operations, trade, and the food supply. Growers are now being urged to take the precautions you see here on this list. Despite the case, officials say the risk to the public remains low, and properly handled and fully cooked poultry and eggs are safe to eat. In the meantime, the Game and Fish Commission in Arkansas is confirming new cases of chronic wasting disease. 3 hunter-harvested deer tested positive in Grant County and Sevier County, the first known cases in these counties. CWD is a fatal neurological disease affecting deer, elk, caribou, and moose. Officials are stepping up surveillance and asking hunters to submit harvested deer for free testing with no hunting regulation changes before the season ends. Meantime, doctors are raising the alarm as flu cases surge nationwide. A growing number of people have died this season, including 1 death in Arkansas. The CDC says 2 out of 3 children deaths were reported in just the last week. The Institute is sharing concern about the cases going up of the flu, and according to the latest data released Friday, nearly 5 million cases have been detected. 49,000 hospitalizations and at least 1,900 deaths in the U.S. The dominant strain is called subclade K, which is a mutation of influenza A.
We think that this clade K virus is evading population immunity, meaning more people are susceptible to infection. It has mutations that may allow it to evade some, but not all, of the influenza vaccine-induced protection.
As millions of people travel and gather for the holidays, flu cases are expected to rise. Children and adults over 65 and people with underlying health conditions are most at risk. Medical experts are urging everyone 6 months and older to get vaccinated. Now let's check in on traffic with Ashley King and a look at the roads right now. Ashley?
Hey, so we just had an accident happen and I just pulled it up on our live traffic camera. So this is an accident in Faulkner County on Interstate 40 westbound near mile marker 125. So like I said, just happened right when we were coming to traffic. So we were able to pull this up so you can see exactly what's going on. Hopefully this won't cause any backups. It doesn't look like it is right now. It looks like it is off to the shoulder, the right-hand shoulder. But we're going to keep an eye on this and let you know. Of course, vehicles slowing down here, but that's the only accident that we're seeing right now. Otherwise, things are looking good. It looks like it's all green across our live traffic map, and our drive times into downtown Little Rock look good if you're coming in from Conway, Benton, or Cabot so far. So hopefully light traffic. Now that it is the 7 o'clock hour, Simone, we're not really seeing a lot of volume, which is maybe a good thing. Traffic is probably going to be a little bit slower with it being the week of Christmas, but weather is going to be warmer, right?
Yeah, we got to get through today first. The sun has already risen, but you can't quite tell thanks to that dense layer of clouds across the state. Now, these are actually some fairly low-level clouds, but we're not going to get to see a lot of sunshine today. We start the day in the middle and upper 40s, a few 50s on the board to our south. Winds right now are calm through the day, though we can see a little bit of a breeze coming from the south southeast as temperatures climb to the upper 50s and low 60s. That's thanks to a warm front that's lifting north through the state. So if you're farther south, you may even have a chance of making it to 70 degrees. More of us looking to get into the 70s for your holiday week, where some record highs could be at risk. We'll talk more about what you need to know for the week ahead coming up in that 7-day outlook.